I
was
was
like, very formal.
You could have worn a tuxedo. Whoa.
Should have got my prom dress out.
We're actually. All right, we are on the air. We are on the air. And with all great respect for the great IT people in the back who got us on the air, we're going to go ahead and start. We have a two-part meeting tonight, but first, whoever wants to stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance with us may do so. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're going to move to the agenda approval for this legacy part of the meeting. Are there any changes or additions to the agenda? I want to make one mention. We will be moving liquor item 3 to position 2, and we will be moving liquor item 2 to position 3. And that was a request of the town clerk because it makes sense because of who those belong to. So it clusters them together better, if you're all okay with that. That's the only modification I know of. Any other modifications?
Not me, Mayor.
All right. Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve the agenda as stated.
All right.
I'll second.
Moved by Mayor Pro Tem Sinak, seconded by Trustee Brown. We can vote. All right, the agenda passes with that one modification. Public comment. This part of the agenda is related to any public comment for items not on the agenda. We ask that anything relating to quasi-judicial items be reserved for the appropriate public hearing. This is not a question and answer period. Does anyone have any public comment they would like to make on items not on the agenda? I see no arms or other limbs or heads shaking, so we'll move forward. We have town board comments and liaison reports, and I'm going to speak first on a couple different things. A couple of them are jolly. I wanted to thank the Parks and Grounds Department for the great job of sharing green with the community. According to Ellie Ertl, they gave away 434 choke cherries and 2,232 natives. I assume that's plants of some kind. And so just a wonderful thing. I grew up, part of the time I grew up was in Nebraska and Arbor Day, and I've really been big into planting and replanting and refreshing. And so that's a wonderful thing. I also want to make reference to our town administrator who was awarded in the last couple weeks with the Colorado City and County Management Association Manager of the Year Award. This is huge. This is the whole state. Very well deserved. I can't see whether he's blushing or anything, but we, going for it. But and Jason Damweber, thanks for kind of spearheading that process and all the support. What a wonderful thing. We have the best in state right here.
Just the state?
Maybe beyond, of the Western region. I have one item I want to mention that is a little more sober. No political party has a monopoly on violence. No one can predict the extremist elements from any direction who choose to wreak violence or advocate violence. All of us need to make a stand against political violence. The only time I think that violence is permitted as if you're defending your significant other or your children from great harm or death. To me, that's like the one exception where you pull out all stops and you do whatever you have to. The violence and the words of violence, it's just so unfortunate that we have such an amount of hate and vitriol, and it comes from all different directions, and words have meaning, words have weight. And it's just something we have to continue to evolve and get past. In here, we have a very civil environment almost all of the time. Estes Park is a civil place. We have a very good community and good community communication and collaboration. But anyway, that's my comment. Political violence has no place. We all need to work together. Humanity unite. I guess that's the best way to put it. So moving forward, let's go to the other trustees. Trustee Eigel.
Thanks, Mayor. I have no report tonight.
Thank you. Trustee Lancaster.
I have no report tonight either.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Sinek.
They're all slackers. Yeah, I'll just quit. I'm done. So my comment is mostly for the incumbents and the new trustees coming on board. Congratulations. It is a great seat to sit in. And as much as people complain and much people say, oh, aren't you glad you're done? There's definitely an emotional loss being done. And I want everybody to understand just what a special place it is to sit up here and how fortunate I have been to sit up here. So I thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Hazelton.
It's really tough to go after that and talk about regular business, but I made some comments about Marie's service at our last meeting, and that was her last full meeting with us, and I just want to reiterate that it's been such a privilege to serve with you, Marie, and you will be missed. Thank you for what you've done for our community. And I'm excited we'll get to celebrate you in a little bit. I do have a few items. Visit Estes Park had their April board meeting, so I've got quite a bit from that, but I've pared it down for tonight. I want to mention 3 community engagement opportunities that Visit Estes Park has focused on recently. First is on March 25th. They had their first Film Fest and Large Event Task Force meeting, and this is a community focus group that is doing exactly what that title says, which is kind of looking at how our community engages with Sundance as it's coming to the Estes Valley, to the Northern Colorado region and may overflow into the Estes Valley, and then to discuss how we manage large events that come into our community from a marketing and tourism engagement standpoint. So it sounds like there was a great turnout at that meeting. They identified some priority topic areas, and they'll meet again on May 6th. And then today, there was, speaking of Sundance, a panel at the Historic Park Theater. Quite a few people in the room, which was wonderful. We got to hear from the Colorado Film Office, from Visit Boulder, and then from Sundance themselves, and talking a lot about what they are working on for 2027, how that may overflow into our community, and just the ways that we can be engaged with that huge, not just economic driver, but development of arts and culture in Colorado. So very exciting stuff. And then tomorrow, they're busy, is the first Marketing Advisory Committee, and I've talked about that up here before. That is truly our community-oriented group that can come in and work with the marketing staff on their plans and hear about what's going on from an operational and technical standpoint. They'll be talking about events, travel and tourism awards. They'll be talking about an RFP process for our advertising, PR, and website firms. So if you're interested in learning about that, if you're a marketing geek like the rest of us, you can go to visitestespark.com/partners and view those RFPs. And I'm sure Sarah, who's in the room tonight, will be happy to chat with you about those as well. The big topic of the meeting was we reviewed our Q1 marketing. Amanda Sherlin, who is a new staff member, shared what's been going on for the first 3 months of 2026, and that was fascinating. Lots of good data in there. I highly encourage folks to review the recording or check in with a staff member or board member if you're interested in the nitty-gritty of what markets we're in, how things are performing, where we're seeing those kinds of leads come through. And then I just wanted to add that the lodging tax numbers for February were up 11.6% year over year. So year to date, lodging tax numbers are up 6%. I have to imagine some of that's, of course, related to the fact that ski season's been a little rough. So I think people are spending more time in the Front Range. But it's also showing that we have great development in our winter product, and excited to see those numbers continue to develop. And I was going to congratulate Travis as well as my final item, but since Mayor Hall did that already, I'll pass it along to Bill.
Thanks, Trustee Brown.
So I don't have a whole lot to report from liaison things other than the Housing Authority, as you probably know, had received an offer to sell the upper units at Fall River Village and Skyview, and they decided not to accept that offer, and we're going to hear from them on June 9th at a study session. But I think I know most of the reasons for that, and you'll hear directly from them on June 7th, or June 9th. June 9th, I think it is. June 9th. Hasn't been a whole lot going on with the other ones, but I did want to remark, even though I didn't have much going on with liaison, I can't believe how much there is to do around this town and how much public engagement you can be involved in. So a few of the things I did was I went to the 100th anniversary luncheon for the Rotary Club. I listened to the fire district meeting online. I went to the Visit Estes Park thing this morning about Sundance and a number of other things. And if you want to be involved in this community, there is ample opportunity. And please take advantage of some of that. You know, I, along with, I know my fellow trustees are pretty disappointed on the voter turnout, and that's, you know, reflecting a certain lack of engagement. And so do what you can to take in this stuff. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on. There's, you know, going to be, I think Sunday is the Day of the Dead. Cinco de Mayo, but it's on the 3rd. And at the event center. So duck race, obviously, Saturday. So there's a lot of stuff going on here, and you can pretty much be busy with something relating to the community every day. I don't necessarily advocate that, but but there's a lot of good stuff going on. So please try to take advantage of it. It's there are lots of opportunities, lots of volunteer opportunities, lots of appointments to various boards, and the more citizen engagement we can get, the better.
Thanks. I'll take a couple other things on here. I've been filling in for Trustee Youngland after she left on the Regional Opioid Abatement Council. I'll start providing the regular updates from that in the liaison reports. I also sit on the Larimer County Behavioral Health Policy Council, which provides the grants, is a decision maker on the grants provided in that direction. Same deal. I'll provide liaison reports if I'm still on that council after we do the votes in the second half of the meeting. I do want to mention, related to those two items, though, that in Larimer County, the commissioners had a proclamation this morning in regard to 2026 Mental Health Awareness Month. And I'm not going to read the entire proclamation. I think you can find it online. I'm going to read the first whereas, the last whereas, and the therefore, because that's where it really summarizes it. Whereas mental health is an essential bedrock of a healthy, productive life, a fundamental component that allows those in Larimer County to live with joy, dignity, and purpose. And whereas our vision remains that ours is a community where every person is empowered to access a full spectrum of behavioral health services that promote well-being for all. And then it's the county commissioners, but now, therefore, we, the Board of County Commissioners of Larimer County, proclaim May 2026 as Mental Health Awareness Month. We call upon our community to celebrate the progress we've made together and to continue building a county where mental health and substance use care is available to all. So I thought it was important to resonate that up here. All right, let's move on to the town administrator report. Travis.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to also thank Mayor Pro Tem Sanak for her service to the town. 8 years is a long time to do anything, much less attend municipal meetings 24 plus times a year, especially when you're running a active business. That's a very challenging thing to do. Mayor Pro Tem Sanak's been on the board the entire time I've been town administrator. I'm going to miss her a whole lot. Likewise, I'd like to recognize Trustee Youngland, even though she's not here tonight. 6 years on the board is nothing to sneeze at either. It's a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of commitment, and it's always fun to get a new board, and it's always tough to see people you've worked with for so many years go on to greener pastures. I also want to recognize the town clerk's office, our town clerk Jackie Williamson, our deputy town clerk Bunny Beers, and Sarah Stoddard Cameron and Stephanie Bramwell here tonight. They always run a remarkable municipal election. It's easy to lose that because it happens so flawlessly and so smoothly every 2 years or more frequently. But it's a big deal having a rock solid team conducting one of the most important things we do as a town. So I want to express my gratitude now that the election results are final and the canvassing has occurred and we're about to seat a new board. Lastly, Public Service Recognition Week starts on Sunday. This is a time to recognize the efforts of public servants across the country at every level of government, but certainly for those here at the town that work hard to provide the services that we rely on every day. So I want to thank my colleagues and coworkers for everything that they do. We have a number of options and recognition efforts next week to recognize their service to our town and the Estes Valley as a whole. And then lastly, 2 updates. Strategic planning session number 2, that is where the rubber meets the proverbial road, is this Thursday in the town boardroom from 2 to 4 p.m. That is where we are effectively setting the initiative work plan for next year. That will feed into our budget process, which feeds into actions that are happening. It's a great way for anyone in the public to see what we have on tap for next year and also to look at the things that we're committed to as a town overall. That is an important meeting. It's an important exercise, and I'd encourage people to be engaged. And then lastly, it is April, and I am required to report on policies 3.3 and 3.7 for policy governance. I'm happy to report compliance across the board in those areas, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to the consent agenda. I will read it in full into the record. Item 1, expenditure approval list, bills. Item 2, town board meeting and study session minutes dated April 14th, 2026. Item 3, resolution 4226, events complex arena footing contract. Item 4, resolution 4326, IGA with CDOT for 2026 Bustang to Estes Transit Service. Item 5, endorsing Town Attorney Dan Kramer for re-election to the Colorado Municipal League Executive Board. Item 6, Resolution 4426, amendments to a grant agreement with the Colorado Department of Local Affairs for the Housing Planning Grant. And item 7, acceptance of Town Administrator Policy Governance Report. Does any member of the public or the town board request to have an item removed from the consent agenda? I see none. In that case, I would take a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Trustee Eigel moved to approve. Trustee Hazelton seconded. We can vote. Consent agenda passes unanimously as written. We'll move on to action items, in this case liquor items. We have 5 of them. Item 1, let's see, let me get my stuff in front of me here. So the next order of business, a public hearing on the application to transfer a hotel and restaurant liquor license held by St. Vrain Property LLC, DBA Trailborn Rocky Mountains Casa Colina to SCOTHLL LLC, DBA Trailhead Lodge Rocky Mountains, 130 Stanley Avenue, Estes Park, Colorado. Town Clerk, I believe you'll present the application to transfer this, and you have the floor.
So I'm short, but I'm not this short, so bear with me for a second. Well, I know others are going to come speak, and they'll probably be like bending over to talk to you all. I didn't notice that till we had already started the meeting. Thank you, Mayor. Yes, this is, as all of your liquor license items tonight, is a transfer of a current liquor license. This one is a hotel and restaurant license. We did complete, or we received a completed application on March 16th of this year. At that same time, we issued a temporary permit for this liquor license. So they've been operating with a liquor license, a temporary liquor license, since that date. They did file all the necessary paperwork and all of the fees. They did apply as an LLC, and I will note, I have not confirmed with them, so hopefully their representation is here. I did not see them before the meeting started, and they can speak to you about the training. Again, that's switched from TIPS training to responsible vendor training, so I don't have confirmation of that. So if you'd like the applicant's representation to come up, they can probably answer that question for you. This has been a business that's been operating with a liquor license for a few years, or a couple years now, and there has not been any issues with that liquor license, and I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have about it.
Trustees, any questions? I don't note on the script the opening for public comment, but I do think I have to give that opportunity.
Yes, you may do that, Mayor.
Yeah. Any public comment on this? Is the applicant present? Oh, could you make comment on the status of the vendor training? Come forth. Yeah, and you'll have to hit the little button to get the green going. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, my name is Christy Streeter. I'm the general manager of Trailhead and the restaurant here at here in Estes Park. And our staff have been trained on Serve Safe, and any new members that we're bringing on board will be trained before working behind the bar.
Thank you. I think that was the only open item. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
In that case, this public hearing is closed. I'll need a motion.
Mayor, I would move to approve this, this license, the transfer of this license, Resolution 4526.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Eigel, seconded by Trustee Hazelton, and we can vote on this item. And it passes unanimously. The next item is related, I think, and when we moved item 3 up on the posted agenda. So this order of business will be the public hearing on the application to transfer the liquor license held by Big Thompson Property LLC, DBA Trailborne Rocky Mountain Outpost, to SCO OP LL LLC DBA The Outpost Rocky Mountains, 1040 Big Thompson Avenue, Estes Park, Colorado. The public hearing is open, and the town clerk will present this application.
And you were correct, Mayor. This is the same owners, different LLC, but the same members of that LLC have the ownership of this property as well. Again, this is a lodging license, which allows the service of alcohol in common areas versus a hotel and restaurant license, which allows room service as well. So this does not. This is just the common areas of the lodge. A temporary was also issued for this property when we found the application complete on March 16th, and they've been operating with that liquor license since that time. Again, probably the same question about the training, which I'm sure they can go ahead and answer for you. It sounds like that's probably been taken care of. And again, this license hasn't had any issues since it's been operating for the last couple years.
Thanks. I won't make you come back down. A nod will be sufficient. Okay, we're good on the training. Board of Trustees, any questions of the town clerk or the applicant? Any public comment?
So
Oh,
Jackie,
yeah, go ahead. Trustee
yeah.
Brown.
So I understand they don't have a restaurant in this location.
Correct. That's why it's a lodging license versus a hotel and restaurant
So
license.
they can have liquor in any of the common areas or room service.
They cannot have room service.
cannot have
No
room service.
alcohol in the rooms.
Okay.
Only common areas,
So if
like they could have a bar area, or if they were to have a conference area, maybe something like that, a deck that they might serve on, but not the rooms.
Okay, thank you.
That's due to the food requirements.
I saw no public comment. Other questions? If not, public hearing is closed and we can take a motion.
I'll move that we approve Resolution 4726 for the transfer of a lodging liquor license filed by SCO OPLL LLC DBA, the Outpost Rocky Mountains.
I'll second. And I don't want to name all those initials.
Yeah. Trustee Lancaster moved to approve this transfer. Trustee Brown seconded. We can vote. And you're good. Okay, thank you. Passes unanimously. The next order of business is a public hearing on the application to transfer a hotel and restaurant with optional premise liquor license held by Estes Valley Recreation and Park District. Laura Emmer, DBA Mother's Cafe at the Hangar Restaurant, to Estes Valley Recreation and Park District, Clubhouse Estes LLC, DBA Clubhouse Fairway Tavern, 1480 Golf Course Road, Units A to E, Estes Park, Colorado. This public hearing is open, and Town Clerk, you are up.
Okay. So, as you announced there, Mayor, this is a hotel and restaurant liquor license with optional premise. The optional premise is the golf course and allows for cart service on the golf course. So that's what the optional premise is. Again, this is a long-standing liquor license that the Estes Valley Recreation and Park District has had. I believe I've been here for at least 5 of the transfers to different concessionaires. So this is a new concessionaire at that location that will be operating the restaurant and the golf service. They did file this application on April 10th and have been operating with a temporary as well at that location. It is, they are filing as an association because of the Estes Valley Rec District component of that, and they have completed the trainings previously, as the concessionaire also owns another restaurant in town, as well as several in Longmont. And I would entertain any questions you might have regarding this liquor license transfer.
I'll ask if there's any public comment on this, and I see no public comment. Trustees, questions, comments?
Don't sit down yet, Jackie.
It's my squats.
So do I understand that this license will be held by the rec district?
In conjunction with the concessionaire.
Okay.
They have the lease for the property between the town.
So the rec district is responsible for assuring compliance by the concessionaire then, as a result of the joint nature of it?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
It's probably just a technical question, and there's already an answer. But the applicant on behalf of the rec district, who is fingerprinted, background check, et cetera, is no longer with the district. How does that impact this application?
So this application was already filed and sent to the state. So they go through, as you know, elections every 2 years. And so they have to do what's called a report of corporate changes every time they have an election, and we have to update those members. So because that, my understanding from talking to one of their staff members, is they have 60 days, like you all do, when somebody resigns from a board, to fill that seat. And once that's filled, they would then have an appointment to that position again. The president, I think it's the president of the association. So at this point, I don't think it has much of an impact, although if the board sees fit, they could have their vice president sign this application. But again, it's already been sent to the state, so they've already been reviewing this application as it was submitted previously, since it was submitted on the 10th.
It seems like an irregularity, but it is before us, and it's not entirely accurate then. Although all of the other board members are named on this application.
Correct.
The signatory is no longer with the association or with the group.
Yep.
My other question was with, and this may be for the applicant. It's not philosophical. I think there are some boundaries within the liquor license that will probably govern this. But there's some question about the ability of community groups to continue with fundraising. This is a very unique property. It's a unique license. And I wonder what the probability is of groups who do golf tournaments now to be able to continue that practice and still have the opportunity to raise money with the new applicant.
So yeah, I probably would turn over part of that question to the applicant.
Sure.
There are mechanisms to allow those sort of events to occur through things that are called zero invoicing, those sort of things of alcohol being brought onto the property, but that is all at the licensees. They can do that or not do that at their discretion, I guess is the word I was searching for there for a
Sure.
second.
And maybe that's where my question is more fairly directed at them.
Yep.
It's my understanding that when you hold a liquor license, someone from the outside cannot bring alcohol onto the premises that are controlled by the licensee.
Correct. All on-premise licenses must control their premise and cannot allow outside alcohol onto their premise.
Does that include anything that comes from the outside, food or other beverage, or is it specifically liquor?
I cannot speak to the food part of it since I don't regulate that, but specifically liquor through the liquor license code. They are to monitor that and not allow outside alcohol onto their licensed premise.
Okay, and is that something that then the licensee self-monitors? That
Correct.
situation where if someone comes on and it's up to them to enforce that?
Correct.
Is there enforcement by the state or the town on a liquor license per se that is falling outside of their guidelines?
There can be. It would potentially be a violation of the liquor code if they're not monitoring that or allowing that to occur knowingly. If they were just to allow people to walk on alcohol knowingly and not addressing it, it could become a liquor violation, and you may be before you all to consider those violations, either to suspend the license or potentially suspend or fine them through that process.
Okay. It's my experience that usually licensees or permittees or what would you call them? Licensees are very diligent about that.
Yes.
So, okay, I'll save the question for
Perfect.
the applicant.
Lacking other questions, do we have a motion on this one? Well, I will declare the public hearing closed. Okay. Does the applicant wish to make a statement? I'll reopen the public hearing, so.
Hello, I'm Sean Gaffner. I'm the owner of Clubhouse Fairway Tavern. We've got Matt Grimes, my executive director, up here with me.
Yeah, Tom Carosello, Executive Director, Estes Valley Rec Park District.
Bill Medina, General Manager of the region.
Heather Dries, Administrative Assistant for the Rec District.
I think I just saw your picture in the paper, all dressed up like that, too. Go ahead.
We're in the middle of a training right now, so I've got to come in costume.
Yeah, there you go. Any commentary you would like to make in support? And Tom, good to have you here.
Yeah, I'll go first. Sure. To address Trustee Igel's question on the food and who permits that, there is an exclusivity clause in the contract for the next 3 years, which had not been in the previous contract. So as Jackie mentioned, of course, the alcohol's not up for debate. That's locked in. It would be up to the Gaffner Group regarding how they would permit, if they would permit any other groups to come on and do food. You know, everything we know about them so far says that they're easy to work with and they're community-based, so I don't see there'd be an issue, but there is an exclusivity clause, and that's always a smart business move. There may be some things that are done differently this year, but it's not 1986 anymore. We look forward to how they're going to do business. I think running things through their group, through their operation will clean things up a little bit, if I don't mind saying. And with that, I'll turn over to Sean and Matt. So.
Well, and if I heard your question right, it was about the legality of outside food being served, just the same as with outside alcohol, it needing to come through our permit.
I think it was even higher level, the philosophy of providing an environment where community groups are able to use the 18-hole golf course for a fundraising opportunity. It has been that way historically since before 1986 and for every year since, and it's been very successful. And a community event, I think, is worth supporting. However, owning a business myself, I have to choose whether I'm selling or giving away each day and with each thing that I do, and I have to pay the bills. So I completely understand the clause and the approach to doing business, but I'm looking for maybe a philosophical response to the idea of supporting the community with this, what looks like will be a very successful venture.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could give 11 years worth of examples of us, you know, giving back to the community and donating in many ways, and we certainly would keep that up here. With the few golf tournaments that I've been able to sit with, I've said the same thing to them. It's just, it may look differently to protect us, you know, like instead of people just bringing things on, it would need to, what's called a zero invoice where it comes through us. I'd need to learn more about the way that it used to happen in order to figure out how we could partner with them and certainly support any fundraising that they'd want to do.
Sure. Well, your track record speaks for your integrity and your support of communities. So I'm looking forward to your success in that beautiful location.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for appearing here. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks. Other questions for the group? Any other comments?
I understand you open Friday?
Friday morning, 7 a.m.
Okay, we'll be there.
There you go. I think we're good. Thank you.
Thank you all.
I'll declare the public hearing closed at this point and take a motion.
I'll move to approve Resolution 46-26, transfer of a hotel and restaurant with optional premise liquor license from Estes Valley Recreation and Park District, Laura Emmer doing business as Mother's Cafe at the Hangar Restaurant, to Estes Valley Recreation and Park District, Clubhouse Estes LLC doing business as Clubhouse Fairway Tavern.
Very good.
Thank you.
Do I have a second?
Second the motion.
Mayor Pro Tem Sinek gave us a very thorough motion, and Trustee Eigel seconded. We can vote. And it passes unanimously. So looking forward to seeing the operation out there. We will move on to liquor hearing item number 4, application to transfer a tavern liquor license held by Park Theater Mall, LLC DBA The Slab, to Red A Slab, LLC DBA The Slab Outdoor Pub, 116 East Elkhorn Avenue, Estes Park, Colorado. The public hearing is open, and Town Clerk.
Okay, we're 4/5 of the way through, almost. So this is, again, another transfer. This is a tavern license. This license has been in place kind of off and on for the last few years. They are going to be opening that back up with this summer, I believe, here shortly, and the application was filed with us on March 19th. They're found complete, and they are filing as an LLC, as they have had this license. Previously, they are TIPS trained, or the old acronym TIPS trained versus the vendor training, but that they still hold that certification, is my understanding. And I'd entertain any questions you have regarding this one. This one's fairly straightforward since it does have some of the same owners involved.
Questions for Jackie? Do we have the applicant here? Any comments to make? Somewhat familiar applicant. Welcome.
Mostly as a family, we're trying to clean things up within our business structure. And so we're trying to transfer the name out of Park Theater Mall to Red A Slab LLC, and I'll take full ownership of the Red A Slab LLC. And Trey's going to be my manager.
Hi, I'm Trey.
Questions for the applicant or for the town clerk? Any public comment on this one? Does the Red A Slab have any meaning, or?
There's a Red A in the slab.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, wait till we get to the blue whale one. Okay.
Sorry, we're very artsy.
Well, all good. I will declare this public hearing closed, and we can take a vote.
I move to approve Resolution 48-26 for the transfer of a tavern liquor license filed by Red A Slab LLC, DBA The Slab Outdoor Pub.
I will second that motion.
Trustee Hazelton moved to approve 4826. Trustee Brown seconded, and yes, we can vote. And it passes unanimously. We have a fifth one coming up here. But I have to tell you my blue whale thing now that I let it out of the bag. It was on Facebook or somewhere. If a blue whale was stretched end to end on a basketball court, the game would be canceled. So there you go. That's my bad joke of the day. Okay, the next order of business will be the public hearing on the application to transfer an entertainment liquor license held by Park Theater Mall, LLC, DBA, Historic Park Theater and Cafe, to Blue Whale Theater, LLC, DBA Park Theater, 130 Moraine Avenue, Estes Park, Colorado. The public hearing is open. Act 5 for Jackie.
I like it when it's just a town clerk day. It's great. Our final transfer is a little more historic of a change, right? We've got some new ownership at the Historic Park Theater. So this application was also filed on March 19th. They have been operating with a temporary liquor license as well since that day. They did also file their application as an LLC, and hopefully they can also speak to the responsible vendor training. I have that marked as unscheduled because I don't have that information, so hopefully they can update you on that as well. And otherwise, I would entertain any questions that you have.
Questions for Jackie at this point? Applicant, you want to speak to the training aspect?
Hi, my name is Walter Dietrich, and I'm president of Whimsadoodle and manager of Blue Whale Theater LLC. Is Jenna next to me? Hi. And the training will be handled Jenna will serve as the manager for this, and as she has been manager in the past, my assumption is you will handle the training as you have in the past. Yes.
Yeah.
So does that answer that question?
I think that satisfies.
Great.
And I see no other questions. Any public comment on this item? In that case, the public hearing is closed. We can
Thank you very much.
move to
We
a
actually
motion.
have all
Thank
the
you.
same staff.
I'll move to approve 49-26, transfer of an entertainment liquor license from Park Theater Mall LLC doing business as Historic Park Theater and Cafe to the Blue Whale Theater LLC doing business as Park Theater.
I will second the Mayor Pro Tem's last motion.
There's two more actions.
Nearly last motion.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Sinek moved to approve 4926. Trustee Eigel seconded. We can vote.
Wow,
Yeah.
motions for you. I know, I guess I'm done.
Read the motion slowly so you savor the moment. Okay, that passes. We will move on to other action items. And the next one happens to be Resolution 5026, agreement with Pro Pipe Services LLC for stormwater pipe CCTV inspection and protrusion removal services. And I believe Stormwater Engineer Greg Mahonen is presenting. You're up.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor Hall and trustees. I appreciate the opportunity to come and talk about the Public Works Department's interest in hiring a contractor to run a robotic camera through nearly 9 miles of stormwater pipes. You may recall a couple months ago in February, our engineering team gave an update to the town board on proposed expenditures of the 1% sales tax money. In that presentation, we touched on the fact that the stormwater pipes in Estes Park have never been inspected, and we've been incorporated for almost 110 years. With the voter approval of the stormwater component of the 1% sales tax, some of that money is to be used for neighborhood stormwater improvements, and before we create a plan on how to pursue these neighborhoods, we think it's prudent and responsible to first develop an understanding of the inventory, the amount of pipes that we have. We have an idea, but we know it's not complete, and we certainly don't know the condition of these pipes. So in February, we prepared a request for proposals and put it out. We got 2 responses, and when we reviewed those 2 proposals, we found a significant numerical error in the price proposed by the low bidder. So we rejected all the proposals, reissued the RFP in March, and the response to that RFP was 5 different proposals. The names of those companies and the amounts that they proposed are listed in your item here. The Public Works staff is recommending that the town board authorize the mayor to sign a contract with ProPipe Services. Their proposal was the highest ranked of the 5 we received. Their fee was $176,000. The request is authorization to spend up to $200,000 if needed, understanding that we know we're going to find some surprises. In addition to running the camera through the pipes, we also know that there are obstructions in some of these pipes. We did a pilot inspection in 2025, and in 2 pipes we found a number of roots growing through the joints in the pipes to the extent that the camera could not complete the inspection. Similarly, we found taps or protrusions coming into the pipe that were pipes that connected to roof drains penetrating into the main, and they extended to such a degree into the main that we couldn't get the inspection camera past that. So there are tools that contractors use to remove those obstructions, so that's another component in the contract. Just as an interesting aside, one thing we learned in going through these proposals is it actually costs more money to pay for the traffic control than it does to perform the inspections. And you can imagine that. The access is in a manhole or an inlet in the street right of way, and so you're monkeying up traffic when you're doing this sort of work. So the request is approval of Resolution 50-26, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to do my best to answer them.
I'll first ask if there's public comment on this item. I see none. Trustees, questions or comments for Mr. Mahonen?
Yeah, I have a question. You know that truck we acquired for flushing things?
Yes,
Is
the
that
back
used
truck.
with the stormwater system too, or is it just?
Absolutely, it's a critical tool in our toolbox for maintaining our stormwater system. That truck has vacuum suction, and it has the capability to run high pressure water jetting.
But it can't get the protrusions that they're able to get with this.
I'm told by experts in the industry that the water jet is powerful enough to cut through some roots. The difficulty is we don't have a camera to know exactly where that nozzle is when we run it through the pipes.
Okay.
And so we're not going to attempt to jet roots out blindly by running high pressure water through there. Now, that reminds me of another point I want to make on this. We are proposing to use our vac truck to clean any pipes that the contractor identifies as having sediment accumulation. So we're not proposing to hire that service out, but rather save the taxpayers the cost of that and using that piece of equipment that we previously purchased.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Eigel.
It's probably fair to say that the community is sensitive to traffic. And when you say.
I think that's a fair statement.
When you, Greg Mahonen, former Public Works Director, says we're going to be monkeying up traffic, we need to pay attention to your words. And one of the disadvantages that you list is impacts to traffic that may be significant. And can you elaborate a little bit more on how you're going to mitigate those concerns or impacts to the community?
Absolutely. A key provision in the contract is a requirement that, understanding that a number of the stormwater systems, inlets and manholes and pipes are in the CDOT right-of-way. We have put a prohibition of doing any inspection work on the CDOT roads in our busy summer guest season. The exception would be if the contractor wants to work at night, we would certainly allow that in the summer. Absent that, they would have to wait. They would either have to jump on that early and get that done before Memorial Day or wait until after October 18th to do that work.
And that's just in the CDOT right away?
That's the CDOT right of way. Okay. We don't have a similar restriction prohibiting work on town streets. It's a moving operation. A comparison that comes to mind is if you can imagine a paint striping truck. When they go and refresh the lane lines, it's a moving operation. They go down the road, and yes, they do impede traffic to a certain extent. In this case, the inspection van will pull up to a manhole or an inlet. They'll be there 30 to 60 minutes, finish their camera work, go to the next one. And so it'll be a moving operation as well, but the contractor is required to have a certified traffic control supervisor, flaggers, and signage that complies with the MUTCD.
So the only other thing you raised was the traffic control, and that's included in these bid?
It is.
Expenses, okay.
It is.
Okay, thanks.
So how big of a section do they do at any one time, or?
They'll go manhole to manhole, so it could be as short as 60 feet. It could be as long as 300 or 400 feet.
Okay. Trustee Hazelton.
Can you remind me, I meant to look it up earlier and I didn't give myself enough time to go back through the contract. How long you think this project will take?
They're estimating 60 working days.
Okay.
And so the contract time, the RFP has a target completion date of November 21st.
Right.
The date in the contract is December 31st. And we want to give some margin there to deal with unexpected surprises we may get.
And they'll start pretty soon as we, in theory, approve.
They would like to start next week if
Great.
we can get everything all tidied up here.
Okay. I just wanted to also request, this is kind of nerdy, but if that you would come back and share a presentation on what they do find. I mean, it makes perfect sense that we'd want to have a good inventory, and know what the condition of everything is before we move forward with how we're going to address it. But it was the best sales pitch that you could have done when you gave us that pilot program presentation to see what it looks like in there. So I'd just like to request that you come back and share that when they're done.
I feel confident that somebody from Public Works will honor that request.
You will not come back to share that. All right, Greg. Thanks.
Other questions or comments? Lacking that, we can move.
Seems appropriate that my last motion will be.
I
for
was
Greg.
hoping that would be the case.
Considering sometimes I didn't exactly agree with everything, but I always agree with what you meant to have happen. So I would move for the approval of Resolution 50-26, agreement with ProPipe Services LLC for stormwater pipe CCTV inspection and protrusion removal services.
I would like to second Mayor Pro Tem's final movement from the dais.
You do realize there is a public hearing and another action after this. Yeah, anyway.
And I just want to add a comment that I think this is a good expenditure of funds for us to determine what our spending will be in the future. That we are not locked into 100 years of $1 billion, but this is going to let us make good decisions. So I think this is a good move.
Did I have a second? Oh, you did get the second. Mayor Pro Tem Sanak moved to approve 5026. Trustee Eigel seconded, and we can vote. All right, we're good.
Thank you all very much, and Trustee Sanak, I just wish you the very best. It's been a delight working with you over the last 8 years, and good luck.
Thank you.
The last of the action items for this session is a public hearing on action item 2, ordinance 726, authorizing issuance of a USDA water revenue bond. At this hearing, the Board of Trustees shall consider the information presented during the public hearing from the town staff, public comment, and written comments received on the item. Any member of the board may ask questions at any stage of the public hearing, which may be responded to at that time. The public hearing is open, and it appears that we have Director Zimmerman here at the podium to give us the staff report.
Thank you, Mayor and Trustees. And I have a presentation. Okay, perfect. So we're here to request the adoption of the Water Enterprise Fund Revenue Bond Ordinance number 7-26, which authorizes the issuance of a Series 2026A water revenue bonds to the USDA, United States Department of Agriculture. And this is to finance improvements to the former Prospect Mountain Water Company system. The bond proceeds will be used to repay the existing CoBank construction loan, and you've seen me twice before in regards to this particular loan. But I wanted to first quickly go back through the history again of this project and how we're finally now at this ordinance. And so back in 2015, the Prospect Mountain Water Company filed for bankruptcy. We had in 2016, the town entered into an agreement with the bankruptcy trustee to maintain and operate the Prospect Mountain water system. We had in 2018 meetings with the property owners. We had in 2019, we had the town and the bankruptcy trustee, they executed a voluntary water system transfer agreement, and that transferred ownership of the system to the town so that we could undertake any necessary repairs in which we needed to rebuild and improve. The system had exceeded its useful life. There was required replacements and getting it up to the town standards. And then we also had in 2020, we worked with the USDA, town staff did, in order to get this project budget approved. And we'll go over the financing of this $15.8 million project in the next slide. In 2022, we entered into a construction loan agreement with CoBank, and we did several, at least 2 that I can recall, extensions of the maturity date for this CoBank loan. It was extended due to construction delays and some USDA approval delays. And now we're in April of 2026, and we have gotten authorization. We have substantial completion on the construction side, where the USDA is saying that we can go forward and getting this bond authorization for the issuance of a bond. So the financing we have, so voter approval is not required under the Colorado Constitution. These bonds will be repaid solely from a surcharge to those 133 property owners. So we have $10.5 million that's a USDA grant. We have the CoBank construction loan, which will refinance into a direct loan program with the USDA. And then we have another DOLA grant of about $25,000. And we have town funding of about $500,000 for this project. Okay, so this particular financing structure, it does minimize the financial impact on our existing water customers, so it is solely geared towards those Prospect Mountain system, water system customers. We will, once this bond is closed, once we have approval to authorize the bond, we will get all of our costs, we'll get our loan agreement, we'll know what our payments are for the debt, and we'll go over those costs, and we will work with town staff to get those bills out to those 133 customers. So again, this bond issuance allows the town to refinance the existing 4.493 co-bank loan and to a much lower interest rate with the USDA direct loan program. It also ensures that those costs are equitably allocated to the Prospect Mountain customers and will not adversely impact our existing water enterprise customers. And with that, I will entertain any questions that you might have on the financing of this. And I've brought a few friends with me to go over some of the elaborate history. Attorney Greg White is here, as well as our water department staff.
Is there any public comment on this item first? And the friends that you've brought along, is that commentary, do you want to manage how you present that? Or is that something that we only need if we have questions?
Only questions.
All right. Trustee Brown.
So I gather this has been a long-term thing going on for a long time. Is this the last piece of it for at least your involvement? That you're not going to come back to us on something else from a finance perspective, right?
Well, Trustee Brown, I'll let Director Zimmerman think that one through from her end. I'll say, not from a financing perspective, but we will need an ordinance to amend the code to add the surcharge to the water rates and charges, just like we did for park entrance.
Okay.
So this is not the end of it from the town board's perspective.
Okay. And then I see Greg White is here. I'm curious, when we acquired this, this particular water company, did we get any water rights? I know that's a big deal. I'm not sure I fully understand water rights, but I know, Greg, you do, so.
Yes, and I hate to say it, but I was here for most of that.
Yeah.
And actually, it extends clear about 20 years further down.
Right.
If you really want to talk about it. No, we did not get any water rights. The company, the Prospect Mountain Water Company, had 40 units of CBT water. And they, before 2015 in the bankruptcy, we had numerous discussions with them about taking over the water system. It was not profitable to the people owning the Prospect Mountain Water Company, and they always wanted us to take over. We never wanted to take over because we realized that it was not a very good system, and we would have to spend a lot of money. You can see there's $15 million to bring it up to snuff, so to speak. Those 40 units of CBT water were taken over by the Colorado Public Utilities Commission.
Oh.
Because the water company got involved with the PUC because of protests filed with the PUC by the customers of the water company. In Colorado, the PUC does not has jurisdiction over all private water companies, but they don't exercise it unless somebody complains and they decide that they need to step in. Well, there are complaints about the service, the water, et cetera. They stepped in, assumed jurisdiction, then the owners of the water company had to go to them for rates. And the water company tried to get the rates to cover expenses of the water company. Those were granted, but also back loans. The individuals running the water company said they had loaned to the water company, although there was no written clarification or documentation of those loans.
Interesting.
So the 40 units of CBT were seized by the PUC and sold and put into a fund of $800,000. That $800,000 was part of this project.
Okay.
So
it did go towards the project.
it went towards the project, yes, in the early part of the project.
And I understand this whole water system is in county property, not in town.
That's
limits.
correct, yes.
But effectively, the owners of those properties are paying the entire cost of the
Yes, they are.
upgrade. Yeah. And one other question, I'm not sure if it's either of you on this, but I understand there were significant problems with the tank on top that, and I'm not, there's Jackie. Jackie will know about this. And the last I knew, they had not been fully resolved. Are they?
No, the tank is still weeping. It's not significant. It is in use. We're getting full use out of it. We cannot backfill around the tank until the weepage has stopped. They've added a special coating that is supposed to bridge those gaps and help take care of that weeping. We're waiting for that to activate, so it's still not fully activated. They're getting less as we inspect it continuously. They're getting less and less, and it'll get better when the weather gets warm. Once that's done and the tank weepage has stopped, then we can backfill around the tank and we're done. So it's minor things left, but we are still seeing weeping at the tank.
So the contractor, though, is responsible for correcting that
They
situation?
are still responsible for the tank. We
Yeah.
have not relieved them of that responsibility. The substantial completion that the USDA agreed to was for everything but the tank.
Okay.
So we're waiting on the but the tank piece to be done. And as that weepage closes up, then that will close that issue.
And I see we had obviously approved a contingency of like $500,000 along the way because it became more of a problem in the development, right?
We weren't sure how things were going to go.
Yeah.
We wanted to have some ability to finalize the project if we needed to step in and do any work. And we are still waiting for that weepage to stop to see what has to be
See
done
what
to
is
finalize
needed.
everything.
But in any event, the bottom line is the property owners pay for the entire cost of
Yeah.
it, so.
And all the equipment and the pipes and the tank are in full use. So nothing's not being used. It's all in full use. It's, functional. Everybody's connected to it. It's working fine. It's just that weepage issue at the tank.
And one last thing, I understand that a bunch of roads were torn up in the process of this, and I gather that's going to be done as part of the actual final completion too?
Yeah, we've gotten most of the roads restored. There's some road restoration left to be done because as the trucks drive up and down with the dirt to backfill around the tank, it
Right.
doesn't make sense to fully restore those roads until that truck
that's
traffic
done.
has died down.
Okay.
We have, the Laramie County is heavily involved in this too, because they, even though some of the roads are private by a PID, they're still governed by the county, so they
Yeah.
regularly keep in touch and abreast of this as well.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Agel.
I am not sure who knows the answer to this question. I think there are 100 and how many properties that are affected or served?
133.
133. So what do you think that the surcharge is going to be on top of usage once that is all settled?
Yeah, we haven't crunched all the numbers yet. What we say is about 200 or less per month, but we don't have the numbers to really give a firm, here is the answer until we tally all the bills basically, and we can't really do that until the contractor's done.
So we think it's going to be about $200 surcharge.
We hope less, we think less, but we say
Okay,
200
yeah,
just to be.
Yeah, plan for worse and hope for better. And that's for a 40-year period?
Right, monthly on their water bill for 40 years.
Okay, and when the project started, what did the property owners think it was going to be? What did they think they were
The
getting
amount
into?
given, I believe, was 250 to 350. I think it was even higher, so
Okay.
it's, you start high and
Yeah,
succeed, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and then we also, when the project started, remember, we didn't have the $10 million grant from
Mm-hmm.
USDA that was added after, so that was right at the bidding time
Yeah,
that
it's
they
been
came back
all
with
over,
more money.
this project has been all over the place, and especially with the commentary on the tank, I've also heard concerns about that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a provision, if one of those 133 customers is unable to pay $200 plus usage, what accommodations or what provisions is the town prepared to hear? Or is it, if you can't afford it, we turn your water off? Or tell me, that's a very sixth grade term, but
I'm gonna punt to one of these guys
Sure.
on that question.
Sure, what's the plan for a household that cannot afford that type of a water bill for 40 years?
I don't think we have a specific plan at the present time, but always, if we have to come before this board and ask for somebody to be forgiven or whatever, we would do that, I assume. Or if the board says, no, you operate the water enterprise. So this board makes that decision. And we would come forward and give you the facts and decide what you want to do.
So a plea for relief from that because of the inability to afford it would come before the whole town board?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trustee Eigel, I would just give the further input that in my mind, it's really no different from anyone who's not able to pay
Right.
their water bill. It
Sure.
would be
Should be.
part of a water bill charge, so we would probably want to treat it similarly to anyone in that position.
It's $100,000 for a household to put into this over those years. So it's a substantial amount of money that they may or may not have been thinking about. Will that transfer then if the house is sold, that liability will go to
Yes.
the new homeowner? Okay. Okay, thanks for the answers.
There's also provision that they can pay that off at any time if they want to. They don't have to go the full 40 years. If they want to pay it off to get rid of that and get rid of the interest portion of it, they can do that without penalty.
Town clerk,
I've got another question.
oh, okay, trustee Brown,
Sorry.
carry on.
This is probably for the town attorney. My understanding is when we hook people up to the town water system, they agree to annexation in the future should they become eligible for annexation and we want them annexed. And will that be done with these 133 property owners?
I would defer to Attorney White, who
No.
was part of those.
It will not be done.
No, it'll not be done. It was not part of the agreement that we did in 2019 with the public trustee. I mean, the trustee of the bankruptcy. So we have waived that at this time.
Okay. But it's the property owners that would agree to that, not the trustee, I think.
No, the trustee owned the system.
Own the
We dealt
system,
with the
but,
system. We never
but the
dealt.
annexation issue deals with property owners.
I agree, yes. But we didn't deal at any time other than advise the property owners what we were going to do. We had no legal relationship with the property owners other than to say, we're going to do this. The system was run by the bankruptcy trustee, and the annexation issue was not ever raised or dealt with.
It was never
at that
dealt
time,
with.
yes.
Okay, and that kind of gives me concern that, we've talked in the past about how we generally get agreements from property owners when they hook up to the city water system to agree to be annexed if they become eligible and if the town wants to annex them. So, and I've always kind of doubted the extent to which we've really done that throughout the system. So here's an example where we didn't, and I'm wondering, like when we took over the Carriage Hills water system, I don't know whether we had those agreements or not, and
We did not. I was here
we
then.
didn't, okay, we didn't have it there either. So really, we don't really have those agreements, is the bottom line.
One of the issues is, same with Carriage Hills. We did not deal with individual Carriage Hills property owners. We dealt with the Carriage Hills water system owners, and we bought their system. We did not deal individually with the owners. So,
Trustee Brown, I'll say that more recently, when we did this with Spruce Knob, we did make sure we got every property owner under contract. It's different when you're dealing with 133 property owners, but that was the decision made at the time.
Yeah, and there's a whole lot more in Carriage Hills than that too, for sure. Okay, thank you.
Other questions or comments? Town clerk, any communications have been received in regard to the item which are not in the board packet?
No, because we don't do that anymore, so we'll have to update your script.
Oh, okay. Board of Trustees, any further questions? All reports, statements, exhibits, and written communications presented will be accepted as part of the record. Public hearing is closed. I'll take a motion.
I move to approve ordinance 07-26, authorizing issuance of a USDA water revenue bond.
I'll second.
There you go. Last possible chance. Okay, Trustee Brown moved to approve 0726, Mayor Pro Tem Sinek. Seconded, we can vote. Thank you, Director Zimmerman. Thank you, Greg, for the assistance, Jackie, throughout the whole project and all. All right. We'll move on to the last action before we take a little recess and reception. Acknowledgement of Marie Sinek. And I was going to say, you have to be the director here as to, do we come forth and come down there? Okay, let's do that. It's up to Jackie as to who comes down. Everyone comes down.
If you want. Oh. Go, Mayor. Do you want the formal one?
Sure. Well, first of all, I have to say, she truly is my right-hand trustee. She's been to my right for 2 years and 5 days, I think is what it is, was April 23rd of 2024. It's been a great relationship. We have shared an awful lot of humor. We've shared a lot of information. She's taught me so much. We have accomplished so many things in that time, and we're going to go through some of that too. But thank you so much for being my right-hand trustee. So there you go. And here we go. All right, get ready. Resolution of respect. Whereas Marie Sinek served the citizens of Estes Park as trustee of the town of Estes Park from 2018 to 2022 and Mayor Pro Tem from 2023 to 2026. And whereas Marie participated in the community of Estes Park in numerous capacities through the variety of organizations, which include Estes Valley Recreation and Park District Board of Directors, Fine Arts Guild Board of Directors, Estes Park School District Board of Education President, Rotary member and chair of the Estes Park Duck Race, and whereas during her tenure as trustee, Marie facilitated the revision, approval, increase, establishment, improvement, and/or implementation of the following.
Breathe deep.
In alphabetical order. But it doesn't actually include all the horses and dogs and everything that she healed along the way also. So we have to make mention of that. Acquisition and adoption of the Thumb Open Space and Management Plan. Addition of the Sustainability Management Objective to the 2024 Strategic Plan. Adoption of the 2021 International Building Codes, including the Energy Conservation Code and the Property Maintenance Code, and the 2018 and 2022 Model Traffic Codes. Adoption of the Estes Forward Comprehensive Plan, the Estes Valley Stormwater Master Plan, the Facilities Master Plan, the Stanley Park Master Plan update, and support for the Community Wildfire Protection Plan, Downtown Parking Management Plan, Downtown Plan, Downtown Wayfinding Signage Program, and Estes Valley Trails Master Plan and Trail System Expansion and Construction. Adoption of the Workforce Housing and Child Care Funding Plan and Policies and support for attainable and workforce housing and child care needs assessment. Amending accessory dwelling unit regulations in the Estes Park Development Code. Continued streets improvement plan utilizing 1A funds. Conversion of the Estes Valley Development Area to the Estes Park Planning Area. COVID-19 safety efforts, outreach, and relief funding. formation of the Child Care and Workforce Housing Ad Hoc Task Force and Environmental Sustainability Task Force. Graves Avenue improvements through Safe Routes to School grant. Overhaul of municipal court and determination to bring attorney services in-house. We are halfway through. Rebuilding and improvements to the Prospect Mountain water distribution system. Renaming of the Jim Detterline Memorial Climbing Wall and the Women's Heritage Plaza and support for the Estes Park Women's Monument. Restructuring of the building division and hiring of Safe Build. Support for ballot issue 1A to extend the additional 1% sales tax, ballot issue 3A to fully de-Bruce, and ballot issue 6E to increase the lodging tax to support workforce housing and childcare in the Estes Valley. Support for the Career and Technical Education, CTE, building for the high school. I assume you'll remember every one of these, correct? So, support for denouncing restrictive covenants based on race or religion. Support for emergency response for the Cameron Peak and East Troublesome fires. Support for expanding community accessibility and transparency by increasing ADA compliance and translation services. Support for the Larimer County Mental Health Initiative. Support for the reduction in business license fees. Support for the relocation of the police department to a new public safety facility. Support for the Trailblazer broadband. Support for vacation home regulation amendments and establishment of the workforce housing regulatory linkage fee. Support for the donation of Mrs. Walsh's garden to the town. Support for process improvement and document management initiatives in Laserfish to improve access to town records on the public records portal. Support to sell the Daniels Fire Station to the Estes Valley Fire Protection District. And support for various workforce housing projects, including the Estes Park Housing Authority Peak View Apartments and projects on Dry Gulch and Fish Hatchery. Whereas Marie served on the following groups and committees: Audit Committee, Colorado Association of Ski Towns, Parks Advisory Board, Rooftop Rodeo Committee, and Visit Estes Park Local Marketing District. You've been busy. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mayor and Board of Trustees of the Town of Estes Park, by this resolution and public record, recognize the dedication and leadership of Marie Sinek and express profound appreciation for her service to our community. Thank you so much.
So I actually asked him to be able to speak my last time at this microphone going this direction instead of this direction. But, you know, I worked under 3 different mayors. Every single one of them was great. I worked under 2 town administrators, both of them here, Travis and Frank. Worked with 2 different town attorneys, both here at the moment, and various staff members. And I can tell you that as much as it sounds like I've done a lot, it's all staff. You know, staff makes trustees' lives easy. We have a great staff. And lastly, but not least by any means, my 2 kids, which they basically grew up with me being on this board. I took a lot of time out of their life, there, and my chosen family, who is also here to support me tonight. And I took a lot of time out of their lives. So I thank them more than anybody else, but the staff and everybody here has just been great, and I'm gonna miss it very much. Thanks. And my fellow trustees, I don't want to forget them.
And we're going to have a 15-minute recess, and then we will have the second half of tonight's meeting, but we have some items to present. I think she gets that also, right? But we also have a certificate of appreciation in recognition of your service to the Town of Estes Park Board of Trustees, Trustee 2018 to 2022, Mayor Pro Tem 2022 to 2026. And the town is honored to present you with a James Frank photograph, an $800 travel voucher. That's more than just going to Loveland.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah,
That's
there you
great.
go.
Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Let me show
There's a
everybody.
plaque on the back.
Oh. So, isn't that pretty?
And we have one request from one of your children who would like to say a few words.
You can come up too if you'd like. Mayor Hall, that was obviously an extensive list, but you missed a couple items on there. As Travis mentioned, you were a full-time, oh, don't cry, you're gonna make me cry. You were a full-time business owner, you were a cattle rancher, raised many quail, and most importantly, you were a mom. And I can't thank you enough for that. I am, stop it. I am just so proud of you. In the 8 years, you finally learned to talk slower. You have put so much into this position, and you did not let it take away whatsoever for who you were as a mom, and I appreciate that. So, congratulations.
Can I talk now?
Yes.
Sorry, Mr. Hall, to take up your time. I know we can be kind of pains in the butt, as she knows. So I actually did grow up with her on this board. I was 12 when she started. I am a sophomore in college now. She is a big inspiration to me in several ways of the word. I am on the Rooftop Rodeo royalty right now because of her, and I would not be where I am right now because of her. She's dealt with a lot with me and, you know, this thing. And and she supports me no matter what, and I am very appreciative of her and everything she's done for us and the town as well.
I think this really makes the point that the influences go far beyond all of the actions that we list here, and those influences will probably continue. I have to make one last comment. Marie always told the truth of what she felt. Always. There is no fabrication there. There's nothing hidden. What you see was what you get, and I so appreciated that. I knew what she was saying when she said it. So, thanks again. Let's get all together for a... All right, we are going to come back. We are going to come back in session. I am going to call the Board of the Town of Estes Park tonight back in session for the second half of our meeting. And the first action item will be the swearing-in ceremony for newly elected trustees. And I'll ask for quiet in the room. All right, peace, quiet, love, and joy. Okay. So, I think we have a slate of trustees who are being sworn in for their appropriate term. And I don't know if there's a particular sequence that we have to do.
Alphabetical order.
Alphabetical order, do I have to do that?
I got you.
You got it, okay. So who is first?
That would be Bill Brown.
Trustee Bill Brown, please report to the desk.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, okay.
Come on up here, please.
Congratulations on your reelection. And the judge has a few words for you.
So this is a little wordy. If you need help, it's right there too. Okay? Oh, good. All right. You ready? Raise your right hand, please. Repeat after me. I, Bill Brown,
I, Bill Brown,
do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm
do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm
that I will support the constitutions of the United States of America and of the state of Colorado,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the state of Colorado
and the ordinances of the town of Estes Park,
and the ordinances of the town of Estes Park,
and shall faithfully perform the duties of the office of trustee
and shall faithfully perform the duties of the office of trustee
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations, sir. Thank you. Back up and get your signature right over here, away from the cake. Right. I will give you this document here. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Mr. Eshelman, I think, is next.
Well done.
I had time to alphabetize.
Hello. David. You might want to follow along.
Yeah.
You got it?
I do.
Excellent.
Since Bill doesn't cheat.
All right. Raise your right hand, please. Repeat after me. I, Chris Eshelman,
I, Chris Eshelman,
do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm
do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the state of Colorado,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Colorado and the ordinance of the town of Estes Park, and I beat you,
and the ordinances of the town of Estes Park,
and the ordinance of the town of Estes Park,
and shall faithfully perform the duties of the office of trustee
that I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of trustee
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I need you to sign this, please.
All right, Trustee Hazelton.
Would you like this? Repeat after me. I, Kirby Nelson Hazelton,
I, Kirby Nelson Hazelton,
do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm
do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the state of Colorado,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the state of Colorado,
and the ordinances of the town of Estes Park,
and the ordinances of the town of Estes Park,
and shall faithfully perform the duties of the office of trustee
and shall faithfully perform the duties of the office of trustee
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything. Go see some tigers, right?
Yes. Do I need to sign?
Bottom sheet here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Trustee Mears.
Would you like to follow along? Excellent. Raise your right hand, please. Repeat after me. I, Jamie Maris,
I, Jamie Maris,
do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm
do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare
and affirm that I will support the constitutions of the United States of America and the state of Colorado
that I will support the constitutions of the United States of America and Colorado
and the ordinances of the town of Estes Park,
and the ordinances of the town of Estes Park,
and shall faithfully perform the duties of the office of trustee upon which I'm about to enter.
and shall faithfully perform the duties of the office of the trustee upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations. Sign it. Outstanding. Thank you very much.
I should have mentioned Municipal Court Judge David Thrower, our all-time favorite municipal court judge, who will be back for his regular monthly session next Wednesday, I think, if you have any cases. But anyway, he's just a terrific resource, and I did not introduce him before we got into this. He's the one who provides the oath and does it so well, like he does everything for us.
I
Thank you.
appreciate that, Mayor. Thank you very much.
We can now have the trustees reassemble at the places. I think we've moved the appropriate cards, so you should have all your assignment places. Make sure I get my seat back. Somebody always lowers those things, so I want to make sure it's high.
We just rolled them, so you should be able to roll them back.
Sorry. I
A
should have
whole new
moved my
world.
stuff. I know. You got a new seat.
Thank you. Let's
Jack, can you move it? Mark, can you move that?
your card isn't in there. Is it? Oh, you have tiny little print. Everybody else just has their last name. All right.
Yeah.
Are we all met? We're good to go. Our first action item is to appoint Mayor Pro Tem, and I'll handle that action item. I'm nominating Trustee Kirby Hazelton to be Mayor Pro Tem for this next term. And is there any discussion from the board? Questions, comments? Trustee Lancaster.
Great decision, Mr. Mayor.
Agreed.
Not you, right?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Trustee Brown, did you have a comment?
I just concur with trustee.
Oh, we've got a couple concurrences, so I think we're in a good track. In that case, I would take a motion.
I'll move to appoint trustee Hazelton as mayor pro tem.
I'll second it.
Trustee Brown moved to approve the appointment of Trustee Hazelton to Mayor Pro Tem for this term. Trustee Lancaster seconded, and we can take a vote. Unanimous. There you go. Hey, congratulations. This will be good work. We will now move on to Town Board Policy 101, which are board assignments. And I'm hoping we can get that presented up on the screen and up on the computer screen so we can follow along with that. It will make things a little simpler if we have, there you go. Exactly what was needed. And I think we can see the whole thing all at once, right? If we, is that bottom one, yeah, behavioral health is the bottom. As some of you probably know and some of you don't, there's a couple different flavors of assignments. The liaison assignments, which you see at the second half, are not voting members of different committees or associations. They are primarily a communication conduit, if you will. The board member who is assigned as a liaison to those types of items, for the most part, and there's slight variations here, but they simply help provide communication from the town board to that association or committee, and they bring back news and give us a liaison report on it. So they are not a policy maker on those particular committees. The other committees, commissions, et cetera, boards up above are different, and there's a different robustness to it. They are voting members on these items. For example, the Visit Estes Park, or what am I saying here? Housing Authority, sister cities, so on and so forth. Why don't I see, Visit Estes is down below. Yeah, there you go. So I misspoke on that particular one. Board of Appeals, Restorative Justice, Police Auxiliary, Board of Adjustment, Planning Commission, those items there. Can you go up just slightly? Is there something else on that top line that I'm missing? I think I just had them flipped. Yeah, you know, we had them backwards. It's the fact that it says staff liaison, because of the definition we use for liaison, I'm kind of running things together. So it's actually the bottom half of it where we have the voting members. I thought that was odd when I looked at Visit Estes Park and thought, wait a minute. And I know I vote on Platte River Power and behavioral health. So anyway, consider it reversed, but it's all still true there. And so those top items are the ones where it's a communication link between our board and those different commissions. So you see the slate in front of you, and I will open that to discussion by the board.
Mayor, two items, and I'm sorry, I did not, I neglected to catch these. We usually redline policies anytime they come forward to the board with a change. There is one change in section H, which is 1 page up for the town clerk. It's just the addition of the town administrator or the utilities director per that PRPA resolution. Wanted to clarify that. As you'll see, we're recommending myself as the staff liaison in lieu of utilities director Bergston. The other item under the Chamber of Commerce, Economic Development and Workforce Council, that's been historically me or a designee, and it's actually Jason now. So we can either replace that with Jason or with a designee, Travis Mahalik or designee. I apologize for not catching those earlier.
But I'm going to go ahead and read through the primary assignments here just to, I'll just read it into the record even though it's present here. On the Estes Park Planning Commission, we have Trustee Lancaster, Estes Park Board of Adjustment, Trustee Brown, Police Auxiliary, Trustee Miras, Estes Valley Restorative Justice, Trustee Eigel, Estes Park Board of Appeals, Trustee Eshelman, Sister Cities, Trustee Miras, Estes Park Housing Authority Board of Commissioners, Trustee Lancaster, and those are true liaison positions, communication links. Committees and boards, the Audit Committee, Mayor Hall, Trustee Hazelton, and Trustee Eshelman. On the Colorado Association of Ski Towns, which is, well, we'll talk about that some other time. The Trustee Hazelton, and then we have an alternate designee, Trustee Lancaster. The Platte River Power Authority Board of Directors, the mayor is mandated by policy to sit on that board. Estes Chamber of Commerce, Economic Development and Workforce Council, Trustee Brown. Estes Park Arts District, Trustee Brown. Larimer County Regional Opioid Abatement Council, I recently took that seat from Trustee Youngland and hope to continue with that if the board so approves. The local marketing district, actually Kirby Hazelton is the primary designee on that, and Mayor Hall second. Larimer County Behavioral Health Policy Council, which I've been on for 2 years and planning to still stay on that, again with board approval. So at this point, it's out there. Is there public comment on this slate before we turn it over to the trustees for further discussion? I see none. Trustees,
I'm ready to make a motion, Mayor.
let's make a motion.
I move to approve Town Board Policy 101 Board Assignments.
I'll second it with the change of Jason Damweber and replacing Travis as the staff liaison to the Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you.
Is that, if that's a friendly amendment?
Absolutely.
With that modification, Trustee Hazelton moved to approve, Trustee Lancaster seconded. Any further comments? We can vote. Unanimous. And that's a wonderful thing. We seem to agree on the shape of the committee assignments. And we will move on to appointments. And I think Town Clerk Williamson, you are in charge of this piece.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So after each election, per the municipal code, you are required to appoint the following positions: the town clerk, town treasurer, town attorney, municipal judge, assistant municipal judge, and any other offices that you wish to appoint. Also in the code, it requires that you appoint a town administrator. So tonight, we bring forward the proposal for you to appoint the following staff members. Jackie Williamson, myself as town clerk, Tammy Zimmerman as town treasurer, town clerk pro tem, Dan Kramer as town attorney, David Thrower as the municipal judge, Howard Bartlett as the assistant municipal judge, and Travis Mahalik as the town administrator. And I take any questions or comments that you would like.
I see no questions or comments, and I cannot imagine better names for those particular positions. So I would take a motion.
Mayor, I'd so move. Can I just so move
Yes.
versus reading the entire motion? Okay, I
Yep.
would so move.
As read by Town Clerk Williamson.
I second.
Trustee Eigel moved to approve as read by Town Clerk Williamson. Trustee Brown seconded, and we will vote. Assignments made. Thank you. We are going to move on to Resolution 5126, the contract with David Thrower for municipal judge services. And that also is Jackie.
Like the bad penny, you don't
You're
get rid of it
popular
tonight.
today.
I'm either here or I'm not, it seems, at the dais. So now that you've appointed Judge Thrower, you need to confirm a contract for him in order for him to continue serving you as the municipal judge. I just wanted to note for those, because some of you are new on the board, we have been really blessed to have Judge Thrower as our municipal judge since 2018. He's served our community well, and we really enjoy working with him in the town clerk's office. So I just wanted to throw that out there because time gets away from us, and it's hard to remember sometimes how long he's been with us because he just feels like part of our office and part of our community here. So if you approve this contract, it would run through tonight through April 25th, 2028. I can't believe we're saying that. So for a 2-year contract is what we're looking for approval. He has not asked for any increase in his contract rate, which currently is $2,000 a month. And he also serves as your liquor license authority for any stipulation agreements or anything like that currently. Any questions?
I agree with the assessment. I do try to attend municipal court when I can. I think it's important. He is one of the 3 employees of the board.
Yes, that's
the
right.
town administrator, the town attorney, and the municipal judge. And I have only seen excellence in how he deals with our community. Some folks who have more challenges or learn more slowly than others, but his patience, his dedication, his knowledge of the law and navigation to help them through is just a wonderful thing to see. Any other comments or questions? With that, I'll take a motion. I did not open it for public comment. Is there public comment? Okay. Carry on.
Mayor, I'd move to approve Resolution 5126.
All right.
Second.
Trustee Eigel moved to approve the contract with David Thrower for municipal judge. Trustee Hazelton, Mayor Pro Tem Hazelton, seconded. That'll take a little practice. Okay, I got it. And we can vote. And we're good. Thank you, Judge Thrower. We have one more action item, and lo and behold, Town Clerk Williams on this one. Resolution 5226, contract with Howard Bartlett for Assistant Municipal Court Judge Services.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Bartlett has served you well as well since June of 2024. He hasn't actually been in court per se, as Judge Thrower told him he never misses court, which has been a true fact. But he has served you in other capacities through different appeal hearings. He actually canvassed our election this year, for example. So he has been helpful to our community in serving in other capacities. But in the event that Judge Thrower was not able to attend, he would serve in that capacity. So again, we're looking for a 2-year contract with Mr. Howard Bartlett that would expire on April 25th, 2028.
Comments, questions? It's good to have the safety net. All right, I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 5226.
I will second.
Trustee Eshelman moved to approve 5226. Trustee Brown seconded, and we will vote. I again did not ask for public comment. I must be getting late. Any public comment? Okay, we'll proceed to the vote. All right, that concludes the action items and the business. This is an exciting day moving forward. We have the next term coming up. We have so much to do. Some of it's continuation of things that we've got. I really appreciate folks showing up and participating in this process and helping us congratulate the new board and thank Marie and Trustee Youngland on their way out too. It's a time of transition here, but the road ahead, we got a lot of stuff to do, and I think we